What's up? What's up? Hey, whoa, what's up, everybody? How y'all doing? I hope y'all are here. Hope y'all got the message. All right. I'm going to wait for some of y'all to get in here. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Welcome to Gunday Funday. Gunday Funday is on in effect. Where are you guys at? Doesn't really matter because I love every one of you, and I just want to get this information out there to all of you. So, we got Army Ranger 652. He's what's up? Hey, how you doing, brother? Just to let you guys know, I think some of you. What's up, everybody? We've got Evan Wade here. We've got Angel. He's hanging out. What's up, my brother? How you doing, brother? I hope you're doing all right. And just to let you know, I'm gonna come up there very soon to come pick you up. We've got Diamond Tech here, NYC. What's up, New York? New York. And we've got Ken Stewart here. He's out of Sarasota. Hey, if you don't know, that's gonna be part of the talk today, Ken Stewart. So stick around. We're gonna talk about that here very, very shortly. Gary 6330. What's up? How you doing, brother? We've got Chris. I'm not gonna butcher your name, so we're gonna say Chris from Canada. Thank you for joining in, Chris Scott. YouTube sucks. Let me know at the end of the show. Yeah. I hope my stream is going fairly well for everybody. I hope everybody can see me pretty good. We've got Miguel Perales here. Says, "Hola, Florida." What's up, brother? How you doing? And let's see here. We've got Ray Alvarez saying, "What's up, Solo?" I'm living the dream. Just like you guys know, don't forget, hit that like, share, and that subscribe button. Hit that little thumbs up. Give me a little thumbs up, and I appreciate all that good stuff. But I'm going to... Oh, we got Ray Alvarez, Hutchinson Island Resort in the house. That's what I'm talking about. My old stomping grounds right there. Gary 6330 says, how many signatures did I get today? I got about 15-20. I was out there with my daughter. I was only out there for about, I'd say maybe 2 hours ish, but that's 20. You do 20 per day, and guess what? I end up with 1,200. And that's what we're about to get into. I'm going to go ahead and start you guys out. Just to let you guys know, if you haven't seen the video, and I promise, guys, I'll get back to some of these, the comments, but if you haven't seen the video, I went down to West Palm, or the town of Palm Beach, and went back to their town hall meeting. And I love Palm Beach. At the end of the day, I love Palm Beach. But they were doing a lot of things that I just didn't agree with. And once again, the Senator Bobby Powell, they are in. I'm gonna get all this other stuff pulled up so that you can see it. But it's there is a new bill out there that is going to be, I believe, talked about or voted on this coming session, and it's pertaining to 790.25 Section 3 subsection H, and that's the one that you can open carry while you're fishing, hunting, and camping. Bobby Powell, he wants to reword how the law is written. And this is how stupid it's stupid. Plain and simple, it is a stupid law. It basically keeps everything the same about the law. But what it does say is that I cannot be within 1,500 feet of a school, or any type of school, not just a public, like elementary, middle, or high school. It's saying any type of school, colleges, anything like that. So I've got a huge issue with that. When I first started carrying my firearm, I didn't have a concealed weapons license, and that's why. And I fished at least 5 days a week, and I was almost robbed underneath a bridge while I was fishing. But I didn't open carry. I didn't have my firearm that day, and I was almost robbed. And that's why I say it's very important for this law to be left alone. If they start changing it, for those people that can't afford a concealed weapons license, and down here in the state of Florida, it's going to take about anywhere between $55 and $65 for you to take the class, and then you have to go and pay Mr. Government, the permission slip to get a permission slip to carry your firearm. Once again, for me, that's against everything that I am about the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment is the right to bear arms, how we choose. It's not about concealed carry. It's not about open carry. It's about being able to choose how you want to carry. Well, what this law will actually do is actually prevent millions of people from being able to, without a concealed weapons license, they will not be able to carry their firearm and protect themselves under this law. And then once again, they're adding schools, they're adding places of worship, and they're also adding government buildings. And here in the state of Florida, we have government buildings, schools, churches, almost on every corner of every city, of every town, of this part of Florida. And if they get this law passed, it's only gonna restrict the law-abiding. Criminals, at the end of the day, don't give two cares about what law you pass, because once again, as a criminal, they're gonna do whatever they want against the law. So me as a law-abiding citizen, that's why this is so important. Not only the fact that I didn't have a concealed weapons license when I first started carrying, I didn't have one. So what am I supposed to do? Just leave it in the car, leave it in my house? Whenever you have something that is part of your life, fishing for me, for others, it may be hunting, it may be camping, it may be just the fact that they want the right to bear arms, should not be infringed at any point. I think, for me personally, I think it's the stupidest thing that we have to have a fishing pole or be on our way to hunting or we're going to camping. Like, that is, for me, that's the stupidest way to put this stuff. I mean, it's just stupid. Like, give me the right to bear arms, period. I believe Florida should be a constitutional carry state. And now I'm going to jump into what I was doing today. So we talked about the open carry statute and how they're trying to change it with Bobby Powell. I went down to the town hall meeting, but I was out today. I was at Fort Pierce Inlet. I try to do this every Sunday or whenever there's events and things, just so that I can get myself around a lot of people. And I'm getting signatures. I got about 20 today, and I need 1,200. I've got roughly in the range of 600 signatures right now. That is getting me towards my 1,200 goal, but I need a lot more. Me being out there today really opened my eyes to how people are really looking at our politicians. I can't speak for every state and every city and every district or whatever, but a lot of people do believe in the Second Amendment. A lot of people do believe in our constitutional rights. And a lot of people, whether on the Democratic, Republican, or somewhere in the middle or way out on the wings, a lot of people think that infringement of our rights is just completely overstepping the government's boundaries. Our Constitution was to put our government in check, saying these are the rights of the people. And as a politician, as a government official, their job, their oath that they have taken is to uphold and defend our Constitution. And once again, I go back to West Palm. I called out the mayor, I called out the chief of police, and I told them they should be fired. I basically, in a nutshell, I was like, look, you guys are going against your oath, which we hold dear here, especially for me here in Florida. We all hold it dear. Everybody, I'm sure everybody on here really holds the Second Amendment dear to their heart. But we've got too many politicians that are willing to restrict our rights and take our rights away. And that's why I'm out there trying to become a politician. Don't y'all hate me on this. I mean, you could. I don't care. I mean, I do care. But I think some of you that actually have seen me and know who I am, and the ones that actually really do know who I am, know that I would actually really be out there trying to stand for our rights. I'm not trying to become a politician to make millions of dollars. I'm not trying to be the typical politician that we've seen over years where they're just there to collect a paycheck and they get donation or they get money from all these people that are like, hey, if you pass this, you pass this, you pass this, we'll keep donating to your fund. I've only raised about $300 in my campaign fund. I don't ask for the money. I keep saying that to you guys. I don't ask for it. I appreciate anything that people do donate, and if you can donate, so be it. But I don't ask for it because I think my beliefs and what I do believe in, a lot of other people, and what I saw today, a lot of people believe in. And I think with me using YouTube, Facebook, and all those good things, and getting that message out there that they have a politician that actually wants what's right for the people, that is what's going to put me above the rest. Is that, I can't say I'm not doing it for money. I'm doing it to sustain my family. I'm not getting into politics to become this millionaire or whatever they are, where they just keep getting money and they just sit around and do nothing with the time they're in office. My goal is to make a difference. And I mean, it may not happen within the first month, but in time I will make a difference, because right now, me personally, I feel like I'm making a difference. I'm making people open their eyes to this open carry here in Florida. I think it's silly that we have to carry a fishing pole, but it also allows me to go out to, West Palm, to Miami, to Daytona, to wherever I want to go in the state of Florida. And as long as I'm fishing, I can do this. And so I want to change that. I want to make a difference in where you have the choice, because that's being an American, is having the choice, the right to do what we're giving, or what we are given. And our Bill of Rights says the right to bear arms shall not be infringed at the end of the day. And we're watching a lot of these politicians, and I won't stand by it. And that's why I am trying to become a politician. I'm not trying to become the typical politician. I want to become a politician that actually makes a difference for the people, because I'm just like any one of you guys. I'm just Mike. At the end of the day, I'm just a guy that has Yo, man, what are you doing? You're ruining my stream. I'm just kidding, bro. I'm just playing with you, man. I'm just playing. You got the keys. But yeah, and like I said, I'm really out there trying to make a difference for the people. At the end of the day, if we don't have politicians that will stick up for the people, because that's what the people do, is we put those people in office to do what we want them to do. Any amendment, any taxation. If I could make a difference in saying no taxes, we'll never pay another tax, I would. It's not realistic. At the end of the day, it's not realistic. In time, it could be. Right now, I'm going to take little baby steps in trying to help make sure we ensure that we keep our Second Amendment. Because if we don't have a Second Amendment, we won't have a First Amendment. So and like I said, I was out at Fort Pierce just hanging out, chilling. I didn't open carry or anything. I was just out there. I was with the daughter, and basically just telling people who I am, what I'm about. I'll just let you know I'm a very pro 2A guy. I'm for the Second Amendment 100%. If you guys don't believe it, you need to get into my channel and start looking at all my videos, because if you don't believe I'm pro Second Amendment, you need to get off this channel. Very pro-life. Some people, I'm very pro-life. I have a daughter. I could never think about, it's not even a thought. I would never think about anything about killing innocent that have no choices in the matter. So very pro-life, very pro 2A. I think our education really needs a little bit of reform. There are things that they have been trying to do better, but we really need to start working on our children's future. And it's not just about, oh, you got to go to college. I'm not preaching just going to college, because for me, college wasn't meant for me either. I ended up going to culinary school just because at the time this is going back in the Obama administration. I came back, I went on vacation, came back, and we were in this huge recession or depression or whatever you want to call it. And I won't put the full blame on Obama. There was a lot of other aspects that went into it. You know, we had the crash of the stock market. It's just, we never came back from that until recently. And, you know, our economy is getting better. I'm not going to attribute it all to Trump, but I can definitely say our economy has gotten better. And that's what I would say about having the right politicians, because if you have the wrong ones, they're just going to dump money into the wrong areas. You know, education for me is a huge one. And I want to try to bring back the trade schools. I don't know, some of you may or may not remember, but I remember having shop class. I remember there was a mechanics class, home ec. I mean, that's where, when I was in school, I actually took home ec. And you might laugh about it, but I took home ec. And, you know, when I was 13 years old, I picked up a Betty Crocker book. And I think that's where my culinary experience really started, was when I was a kid. I picked up a cookbook, and it was just like, it was the coolest thing for me to pick up a book, read something, and say, hey, I can make it now. And that's what we want to try to bring back to our kids, because some kids aren't meant for college. If they're not meant for college, let's find the things they are interested in, or they excel at. If we can find the things our kids are very, very good at, I'm not saying don't give them, if they're not good at math, but they're good at this, they still need to have some kind of, reading, writing, arithmetic. We still have to be able to write, we still have to be able to read, and we still have to be able to add 2 and 2 and subtract and divide and all that. Do they need to know, all the relativities of, gravity and things of that nature? No. But if they excel at that, that's where I say, yes, put them into college, get them into that higher education to only expand their knowledge. But for those that are like, I love working with my hands, I love carpentry, I love this, I love that, let's bring those back into the children's lives and let them make a good living. I mean, carpenters, mechanics, construction workers, electricians. As a chef, if you're at the higher level, yes, you can make a really great living. Anybody that works in the hospitality industry, it's a struggle. It is, but there's a satisfaction of pleasing, of being a service member for the public, because not everybody can cook. That's one thing in life. Everybody will have to eat, so that's why restaurants will always be around. Restaurants, I could go into the history of being in or how restaurants started, but we're not doing that today. But that's half of my goal as a politician, is to really, our education down here in Port St. Lucie, Stewart, Fort Pierce, all the surrounding areas in the Treasure Coast, we have water issues where they keep. This year has been actually a pretty decent year, but for the most part, every year they seem to dump all the water that comes from Okeechobee, goes through our locks, through our rivers, and out to the ocean, and it pollutes our waters. And that's a huge issue for me, because before I started doing all this gun activism, I was a kayak fisherman. I fished 5 days a week. I was semi-professional. I did a lot of IFA tournaments and things of that nature, local tournaments, things of that nature. I was a fisherman. And then I saw what happened down in Parkland, down here in South Florida. And then I saw March of Our Lives and Moms Demand Action kind of spawn out of that. And then I saw what they were trying to do. And this is going back almost 2 years. And I didn't want to stand for it. I couldn't stand for it. I knew there were other people out there, but I was going to be part of a group that was going to be like, hey, look, we do sympathize. We don't want innocent people to die. And that's why I think it's very crucial that we start really re-looking at gun-free zones, because gun-free zones failed that school that day. And just about 90, the statistic goes up, but it's somewhere around 90%, all the way up to almost 98%. of all mass shootings happen in gun-free zones. So we really need to start taking a better look at gun-free zones, and that will be something I will look at as a politician, because I don't agree with it. From the talks I've had from other 2A groups and from some legal people of 2A groups, the first time they tried to pass I think it's the Gun-Free School Zone Act or something to that effect, it was found unconstitutional. And then a few years later, they tried to address it after, I think it was I believe it was Columbine. After Columbine, that's when that law actually became into effect, a federal law. And that's going to be the hardest thing as a state representative to fight, because it's at the federal level. But give me time and maybe I'll be your next congressman. But right now I want to get my name on the ballot, and I really want to try to make a difference for my county and for the state of Florida. And if I do well and the people think I do well, I think there's going to be there will be a progression. You'll see it go from state representative to Congress to Senate. And who knows? Being a president I would love it, and I would love to see my name as a president candidate, but who knows? I won't say never, and I'll never say I won't, but we'll hold on. Let's get through state representative first. But we're gonna hop into some of these some of this comment stuff here, and we got Lone Wolf from PA. We've got Rambo Rob. He's saying what's up to Angel. We've got Ninja hanging out. He's chilling. Says, hey guys, geez, greetings from Nazi Germany. Oh yeah, greetings from Nazi Germany. Hey man, that's what we're trying to prevent here in Florida, or we're trying to prevent that here. We don't want to see a communist regime. I'm not bashing on you if you are from Germany or anything like that. It probably wasn't you, but that's the thing. That's why the Second Amendment is so important, is that we've already had the British try to take over, and when they said, all right, no more guns, we fought them and we won. And anybody else that wants to try to strip our rights, we will fight for our rights. And so Ninja, hopefully we'll see you. Hopefully I see you here again, man. I'm not bashing on Nazi Germany or nothing like that. I'm just saying we don't want it to become that. We got JRM O'Brien. How do we sign? I do go out to the Fort Pierce Inlet almost every Sunday or every other Sunday to go out there and just sit there. I post up very pro 2A American flags, Florida State flag type of thing. I'm very noticeable, and I'm wearing a suit. I'm in probably 90 degree weather, and I'm wearing a full-on suit. It's not that I don't like wearing the suit. I'm like a surfer guy, fisherman. I like wearing shorts, sandals, and a t-shirt, but it is what it is. You got to look the part sometimes to get people's, just to get them, I guess, intrigued or actually wanting to listen to you. And that was the one thing I would say about what I did today, was that I learned, as a person just fishing, people just look at you and they're like, whatever. But when you put on a suit, people are actually like, oh, and it adds a little bit, I guess, more seriousness to it or something. I don't know. But they're more intrigued to talk to you, and they're more willing to listen to what you have, not to offer, but what your views are and what your goal, at the end of the day, what my goal is as a politician. And I think that's half of why I got about 20 signatures today, and I was only out there for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. So it was actually really, really good. So JRM O'Brien, if you happen to live in District 84, I will try to do my best to get this on YouTube for you guys, so that if you are in the area, you can come out to the Fort Pierce Inlet or wherever I happen to be going, and that way you can check it out. But there is nothing online that you can sign. This is specifically for District 84, so it's unfortunate. I wish anybody could get my name on the ballot, because I mean, across the state and across the United States, I think most of you guys here would probably sign it in an instant. So we got Dwayne James from Bonify. Thank you very much. Hey, what's up, brother? How you doing, man? Appreciate it. We got Ray Alvarez. He says, that's right, my brother. I'm not. I'm a little behind on some of these comments, so forgive me. We've got Joseph Desmond. He says, hey, Solo from South Jersey. Keep up the good work, and I will. And I appreciate you for being here. We've got Heike DTW. Greetings from the snowy Wyoming mountains. And a buddy of mine, he lives up in Colorado, and he took a picture of the mountains. I'm like, what's that white stuff on top of the mountain? And I've seen snow before, but most Floridians, especially in South Florida, have never seen a snow a day in their life. So Crossroads says, thanks for protecting our civil rights, and we need politicians. Even if I don't get elected or I don't get on the ballot, we need politicians. We need people that are willing to stand up for our Second Amendment rights. At the end of the day, if we don't have people that will stand up, there's going to be too many people that are going to take those rights. And I've said it, and I'm sure most of you guys know it. Most of you girls and gals know this: is if you don't express your rights, you will lose those rights. Me personally, I hate the fact that I need a permission slip to be able to carry. But it is what it is, because that's how our state is. Some other states allow you to open carry with or without a license. Some states, you have to have a license just to open carry. And once again, that is just more government control saying, hey, I know who's got a concealed weapons license. They say they don't. Yeah, that one's going to be really debatable, because I think we all mostly all know that some of our politicians, or what they do, is corrupt. Not all of them, some of them. And for those ones that are actually doing a really good job, those are the ones that we need to keep in office. For me personally, I don't think there should be term limits on certain ones, but I do think should be term limits on others, especially at the federal level. Federal level, we're noticing a lot of people that are they spend 30, 40, 50 years in Congress, Senate, or whatever, and they have gone through. They were the ones that created a lot of these laws 40 years ago, and they're the same ones still pushing for more laws and control now. And if it hasn't worked when they started, it's not going to keep working today. So we have to. I think there should be some term limits on certain areas, maybe not all, but I once again, I don't know. I've read the gist of things, but a lot of these, as long as you're not a president, you get 2 terms. Everything else, you can stay there until you get voted out, and then you can actually get re-voted in if people were like, hey, this person sucks, this guy back, and you rerun, you get it back in. But we are starting to notice a lot of trends with a lot of these older politicians that created a lot of laws that haven't worked, that are still in office, creating more gun laws or any kind of law that is against our rights. And those are the politicians I really think that we need to really start paying closer attention to, because those are the ones that are really trying to do the most damage to the law abiding. So keeping our civil rights is crucial. Yeah, create a Discord channel so we can talk with no lag. If there's any lag on this, I do try to use directly through YouTube, but sometimes the YouTube one doesn't work as well. And this one, I'm actually going to be able to pull on YouTube. I can't do like a screen sharing where I can actually show you another part, like another internet, because I'm going to show you the bill that they're talking about changing. But yeah. If there is any lag, everybody, I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah, YouTube kind of does suck, man. I like it for the platform and getting information out there, but it does suck sometimes. We've got Safety Man. He's saying, hey. We've got SOP Mod 556MM. He's saying hello. Ray Alvarez says, they're always trying to come up with new crap, and that's why we need to hold our politicians accountable. And I would say that to anybody here watching. If you have politicians, if you have people that you don't agree with, you should go to their town halls. You should go to their meetings. You should write them a letter. Do whatever you can to let them know that you have issues. And if they don't want to hear it, the only thing that we can do is try to get them out. And that's, I think, half of it with a lot of our half of our politicians, that they're not even listening to us. They're getting so much money from, whether it be Bloomberg or whoever. There's so much money. They're like, hey, this is what we want you to push. These are the laws that we want through. Here's all the money. That's it. So, yeah. Army Ranger says 652 says, did Nicholas Cruz listen to open carry law? No. Nicholas Cruz, and even that kid, I mean, FBI failed that guy. Or I won't say they failed him. Our government failed those children that day. Scott Israel, he is definitely never going to get his job back here in Florida. He's never going to be another sheriff ever. That guy failed. FBI failed. This guy, Nicholas Cruz, put out all the warning signs in the world to everybody. Put all the friggin' warning signs, and nothing happened. And I'm not saying that he should have been red flagged or anything. They should have kept a better eye on him. And the fact that he was actually talking about it, and that's the hard thing, is there's talking about it and then there's acting on it. And not saying the government should have kept an eye on them, but they should have done a little bit better job. When the students are calling the FBI and the parents are calling the FBI and people are calling all these people, and this happens, that's when the government has failed. They failed at realizing that there was a true threat, and they did nothing. And it's once again, it's a real fine line. I'm not saying, we all have our freedom of speech, but when you start, I don't know. I do know. If you start saying that you're going to go shoot up a school and you're going to kill innocent people, the government needs to watch you. They don't need to take your guns away yet. They need to watch you. And if you keep going down that route, that's what the government is there to do, is to stop you before you do that, before you hurt other people. And if you're, a danger to yourself or others, that's where that line, that red flag law is a real thin line. I don't think that it was a red flag, but it was definitely something that he needed to be watched. And, it's unfortunate. And that's why I think the government failed that day. We got Big Bob 1013 says, we should be a constitutional carry state here in South Florida. I mean, and I go back to this West Palm, this meeting I went to. His name was Police Chief Nicholas Caristo, and he said, "Oh, the spirit of the law wasn't meant for us to open carry in anything other than rural areas, like out in the woods." He's like, "Oh, your lake or your river out in the woods, yeah, that's fine. Open carry all you want." I personally, I don't fish out in the woods. I don't live anywhere near the woods. I live maybe 5 minutes from the river right here. I'm probably about 15 minutes from the ocean. I don't fish in rural areas. And for him to say that this is not the spirit of the law, at the meeting, I even called him out. I'm like, have you never read the Second Amendment? It's not about any of it. It's about the right to bear arms. And that's why I think, once again, Chief Nicholas Caristo, and just to let you guys know, I've probably got about 8 or 9 departments watching this channel. They may not be watching this stream, but they do watch all this stuff, and they knew I was coming to West Palm that day, and there was 4 or 5 officers, and they were like, "Oh, it's not because he was coming, but we knew he was coming, but we didn't bring all these officers in here for that." Like, what? They just didn't make any sense when they said that. And this is, once again, I'll I'll put some of these links. There's if you go to Palm Beach Post, there's a news article about it. You just type in open carry, or you type in my name, type in Soliaker, it'll pull right up. And they were basically, West Palm, they don't like me down there. They don't like the fact that I have the right to carry a firearm in West Palm. And that's why they're trying to go this route of changing this law, which, they can try, but I don't agree with any part of it. And that's why I go to them, because they are such a big influence. They've got a huge Moms Demand Action presence there. They're very anti-gun. I mean, they've got bigger issues than a bunch of law-abiding citizens carrying firearms. They've got bigger issues to deal with. If they really want to try to make a difference and clean up their city, get all the money from all the rich people out there and start helping clean up your city, because carrying a firearm isn't dirtying up your city. Carrying a firearm is only keeping criminals from doing criminal acts in your city. They've got bigger issues to deal with than a bunch of law-abiding citizens. Yeah. Oh, and that's thank you, J.R.M. O'Brien. Where in Tampa are you? I am not in Tampa. I'm in Port St. Lucie. But guess what, everybody? We are going to Tampa. That is coming up in today's the 27th. I'd say in it sounds like 6 days, 7 days. It's sounding like next Saturday. Yeah, next Saturday. Holy cow. Where does all the time go? So next Saturday, everybody. Hey, everybody. Next Saturday, Tampa. I will put the link in the event, the gathering link in the description after I'm done here. That way you know where to be in Tampa on November 2nd. It's been a long time coming. Everybody's been asking me to come over to Tampa. We're having an open carry gathering out there. It's I believe it's like directly across from the Tampa Bay Arena, or the Tampa Bay Lightning Arena, the hockey team. Hockey in Florida sounds so weird, but it's right across. Like, we are in downtown Tampa. So if you guys want to come out and express a right, and it'd be almost the same thing like in West Palm, very anti-gun kind of town or city. West Palm, anti-gun. So it should be a good interaction with a bunch of people. I go out there, we go fishing, we talk about gun. Basically normal people do. We just talk to each other about, oh, this is how I feel about this, and oh, I've got this kind of firearm, and oh, I've got this, oh, I've got that, oh, what kind of fish is that? It's not like we're a bunch of crazy people that are just out there wanting to shoot people. We're just a bunch of normal people. 99% of all gun owners here in America are normal, that just like firearms. I don't see the issue, but for these anti-libertards, they got a big issue. And once again, even for me, like being down in Miami, you'd think that everybody would be like, oh my gosh, running for their lives. I've never been to one of these and somebody was like, they ran for their lives. I've only seen people more curious and ask questions about what was going on instead of the other way around. You know what I mean? Like, people are more interested in the fact that they actually have that right to carry like that. And they're just like, they're completely shocked. They're like, whoa, I didn't know that. And that's the knowledge that we do try to get out there, is that we still do have rights here in Florida. We still have legal ways to carry firearms other than with government permission. And even though if you're going fishing here in Florida, you need to go fishing, which I don't agree with, but it is a free license. It's infringement because I can't just go fishing without it, but at least it's free. One thing I could say, the government's offering a free license. So Big Bob 1013, he's in Martin. I want to sign it, man, but you like right on that cutoff of me District 83. Gail, I want to say her name is Gail Harrell. She's very pro 2A down in Martin County, and I would continue to vote for her. So Gail Harrell is somebody that you want to vote for in Martin County. If you could sign it, I would love for you to sign it too. We've got Crowbar 2004 saying, "What's up? Good evening, brother. How are you?" Yeah, Parker Osman. I can't, only because it is very specific to a district. I have to be, anybody that does sign or votes for me has to be from my district. It's District 84. It runs from like almost the north end, just like on the south end of Vero, just like right at that Indian River County cutoff, and then runs all the way from Fort Pierce just to almost the Martin County line. And then as you move east, I've got a good part of that, but as you move west, it gets really, really weird. And you really have, you have to go to your Department of Elections, and you have to get a map, and it draws out where your cutoffs are. And like, to be perfectly honest, if I could do this thing online, I know I'd already be at 1,200 signatures. I'd be beyond it. I mean, I'd probably have like 1 million or something. Maybe not 1 million, but you know what I mean? I'd have a lot. And that's the unfortunate part about all this, is that I wish I could get everybody. The second that I step outside of, I guess it's only your presidents that you really vote for throughout the whole United States. There may be a few others, but it's the one that you vote for. But even for your senators and congressmen, they are set to a certain area. There may be 8 districts. I think there's 8 or 10 districts in Florida for congressmen. So that's only, and they put in a bunch of counties for that area, and that's the only people that will be able to vote in that one area. So that's the unfortunate part about politics sometimes, is that it's only about, for me, it's for state representative, it's more local government. As I step outside of state representative into Congress or Senate, it becomes a little bit bigger, broader, and then you go into other presidencies and things, or being a judge. I believe judges stick out a little bit further. Once again, you are kind of to a certain area. Jay Cooper 7 says, "You definitely got balls." I'm just very passionate about everything I do, and when I'm told I can't do something, or it's not possible, or this, my goal is to go out and prove them wrong. So, and once again, about the open carry stuff, it's not about proving people wrong. It's about showing everybody that you can. I don't want to prove people wrong. It's like, oh, I can do this. I'll prove you wrong. No, I'm about saying, hey, if this is your choice to open carry, whether it's a rifle, handgun, whatever, as you can see in my videos, doesn't matter. They always have to give me my firearms back, and there's always some kind of repercussions that happen after the fact. But right now, I don't tell people to go out and open carry. Choose to do what you want. If you want to open carry, you can. Under the same statute I'm talking about, you can open carry, or you can conceal carry. And this is my thought process on the conceal carry, open carry half of it. Let's just say the cops get it all completely wrong and they arrest you. Well, open carry here in Florida is a misdemeanor. Conceal carry in Florida is a felony. If they were going to arrest you, and they're going to be wrong, as long as you're fishing and doing nothing unlawful, and you're fishing, hunting, and camping, or fishing, hunting, or camping, and they arrest you for concealed carrying while you're doing any of those, that is unlawful, but you're going to lose your firearms because of the felony charge. You're going to have to go through the whole court process, or hopefully you get a judge that realizes that they were wrong. they basically dismiss the whole case and they give you your firearms back. But it's going to be a long road. You're going to deal with, going to jail. You're going to have to try to get out of jail and so on and so forth. So I would suggest, that's why I always suggest you can do whatever you want. You are your own self. I always suggest open carry because the penalty is a misdemeanor compared to a felony. But if you're doing nothing illegal, like fishing, hunting, and camping, and you're concealing or open carrying, I'd rather choose the open carry charge and then deal with that than getting arrested for a felony concealed charge where they don't know the law and then go through the court process. That's just my outlook on it. But so we've been talking about a little bit about Tampa. We talked about me doing the whole politics, and we're talking about the West Palm stuff. And I'm going to hop into some of this chat here. Army Ranger says, so is this anti-carry law going to stop active shooters? No. It's not going to. Yeah, to be honest, it's not going to. What it can do is what it will do. You put the presence of a firearm in an area, most often than not, can't say all the time, but most often than not, there's somebody with a gun. The criminal is not looking to go there. The criminal is not the one that wants to go and have somebody shoot them. Point in case, look at Dollar General that happened in Ohio. Employee, and don't quote me on this, but I did hear that guy got fired. If somebody wants to type that in, look at, I believe that guy from Ohio that was the employee, because Dollar General and most all businesses, their employees are not allowed to carry inside of work because they think it's a liability. But at the end of the day, I'm going to protect myself. I carry 99% of the time, except for when I go to a police station to do a FOIA request, or I have to go to if I have to go into like a political meeting. You can't carry in political stuff like that. There's only a few exceptions that I can't carry, and anytime else, I'm carrying. So yes, I do think that I think that if they prevent us from carrying, it's not going to help stop an active shooter. So, and once again, let's see here. Yeah. Even Wed says, it doesn't matter what is written on a piece of paper by anyone. You and I have natural rights to defend ourselves by any means fit. Yeah, and I totally agree with you, man. We don't need permission slips. That's all. That permission slips are bullshit. For me personally, to get a permission slip to go fishing, to pay the government to go fishing, seriously, to pay the government to carry a firearm, I already have that right. And I'm not saying fishing is a natural born right, but it's part of life. For me, I'm a fisherman. I'm not the biggest hunter, but I am a fisherman. I love eating fish. I love eating seafood. And to be restricted, the fact, I can't, if I wanted to go freshwater fishing right now, I couldn't. I have a saltwater license, but I don't have a freshwater. And I think that's the stupidest thing too, is why should I have to get two different licenses to fish two different types of water? Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Paul, I'm going to just say Paul. He said he was blown away by the Lantana video, and I'll tell you, I was really close to getting blown away too. That was probably, the Miami one was pretty scary. This one was really, really scary because he was definitely saying he was like, if you touch anything, I'm going to shoot you, and that was the scariest part about that whole situation. Yeah. And Ray Alvarez says, they say we have freedom, but they take it away from us every day. And that's the part that I don't agree with. I mean, we've got natural born rights. We have our Bill of Rights. Our government should just adhere to that. Driving is not a right. It is a privilege. Same thing. you know, I could name 10 things right now, you know, between healthcare and this and that. Those are privileges that you either earn or, yeah, actually you earn most all your privileges. You know, I'm a good driver. Here's your driver's license. I've got a good job. I've got money, and I want to buy for health insurance. Here's your health insurance. Health insurance is not that I'm saying people don't want to be healthy. I want to be healthy, but it is not my right to say the government should pay for or have any say on my health insurance or other people's health insurance. And, you know, and that's what they're doing right now. They're like, oh, Medicare for all. Medicare, give everybody free friggin' Medicare. Where's that money come from? It comes from us. And, you know, I'm a fairly healthy guy. I've been healthy most of my life. I've never really broken any bones, never really seriously been in a hospital for more than like a day. So so that part of it, I just it's like we have rights and then we have privileges. So, and we have to start distinguishing the two. Our politicians think that healthcare is a right, and it's not. So that's a whole nother story. Healthcare. I think the healthcare issue is more on the federal level. Sure, do I want people to have affordable insurance and good insurance? Forget about affordable, or actually more about affordable and good. I was, even for me, when I was paying for insurance or health insurance, I was paying close to $700, $800 a month. And for me to get an MRI took almost 3 weeks. That doesn't sound like good health insurance. I mean, and I had Blue Cross Blue Shield. So for that part is, it's just crazy. Army Ranger 652, how about building a wall? I agree with building a wall, or at least controlling who gets into our country. I think they just realized that there's more illegal immigrants here in America than they initially thought. They said it was like 11 million, and it jumped to like 22 million. If you do not come across our borders the correct way, that is illegal. That is against the Florida Constitution. There's an article about it. I don't know, somebody here may know it. But illegal immigration is illegal. Legal immigration, there's a process. Do I think that process should be better? Yes. For those that are actually trying to do the right thing and trying to, you know, they pay money, they have to learn our Constitution. They have to go through a lot to learn how to become an American citizen. And then there's the whole, I'm not going to say them taking away their beliefs. Like if they come from, let's just say Israel, I want them to have the same beliefs they have in Israel, but I want them to assimilate to the American standard. Sure, you know, praise whoever you want. If whatever God you believe in, go for it. Whatever, all the things that you believe in, go for it. But we've seen even out in Europe, you know, they started letting all these, you know, a lot of people that were coming in from, or we'll just say unvetted immigrants. They had a bunch of, you know, suicide bombers, and they had plenty of people that were killing the people of their country, and they were letting these people in. Like, I don't want to see Americans die because of a few, you know. We hold things true to our hearts here in America, and if people come here and don't want to, I won't say they have to accept everything about America. I want them to have their own beliefs, but they have to somewhat assimilate to our beliefs, the way America is. I'm not saying change your religion. I'm not saying change any of that. I'm just saying believe a little bit more in the principles of what America is, you know. And I think that's a big issue. Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to hop down. I'm going to skip through. Homeschooling is the answer. Angel says homeschooling is the answer. I do believe that there can be a lot more taught in homeschool, but I also believe in the public education system, mainly because there's an interaction with friends. Like, at a young age, I've got a friend that I've known since I was 8 years old, and I'm 40. So for 32 years, I've known this one guy my whole life, and we're still friends to this day. I miss the guy to death. I wish he was my fishing buddy. He was my everything buddy. And me and him, you couldn't separate us when we were kids. And even after I moved down here and he stayed up in Daytona, it was like the first few months, man, it was rough, and I still miss him to death to this day. So that's the part I would say is there's this interaction, and you get something that being homeschooled doesn't give you inside of a public school system. You know, private school, if you can afford private schools, go for it. You know, just really expensive. I can't afford a private school. Public schools, another good way. If they're not teaching my son, especially my daughter, if they're not teaching them the right things, that's when I take them out of that school. I either put them in a different school or I teach them myself. And I totally agree with you, Angel. Homeschooling, there is an answer to that, but I believe there's a social interaction that we get from public schools that I think that is very beneficial for our kids. You know, it gets friends. We've got 2A fishing. We have First Amendment, but we can't use the First Amendment to destroy the First Amendment. No. Yeah, basically, you know, our freedom of speech is our freedom of speech. You know, I don't agree with people that want to be racist and say whatever. They can say whatever they want. I may not agree with it, but they have the right. And I would never step on somebody's right to speak freely. And that's why I say a lot of the stuff, like especially through my channel, I don't moderate it. I kind of let people say what they want. I don't really care because I'm not the one that's going to act on it. I'm not the one that's going to be. I'm not that person. I mean, I'm not criticizing anybody about anything they've said. I'm just saying, if you want to say, you know, kill all the pigs, that's your choice. I don't care. I'm never going to say it because, you know, over months and years, I've had respect for law enforcement, but I will tell you right now, my respect has been just chipped away, and I wanna praise the good ones and put down the bad ones, and that's what I would say about my respect for law enforcement. If you're good and don't want to infringe and don't treat me like a piece of garbage or a criminal or whatever, you're good. You've done your job. You're not getting your feelings all involved. But for the ones that are bad, you know, those are the ones that we don't. You know, they could be, as they so call it, a loose cannon. And so it's the hard. It's, you know, I have respect for some parts of law enforcement, but you know, the more they infringe on my rights, the more it goes away. So, let's see here. Yeah, gun-free zones. Yeah, just to let you guys know, I'm a little behind on a lot of this, a lot of your comment and stuff. So if you're not here, I'm sorry. We got tacos and French fries. He's saying here. We got Army Ranger 652 saying F friggin' gun-free zones. I totally agree with you. Paul, if you haven't seen the Lantana video, I think it's like the third one I've recently uploaded. I put a link, but it's like the third or fourth video. You go and, you know, click on my channel, it'll say videos, click on videos, and then go down like 3 or 4 videos, and it should say Lantana. Once again, I had guns drawn on me that day. Not a good day. Wasn't fun, I'll tell you that. I caught a snapper, and I saw some spotted eagle rays or spotted bat rays, one of the two, I can't remember. But yeah. Let's see here. Yeah. Hashtag bad gun-free zones. Or hashtag ban gun-free zones. Sorry about that. Mr. Harass says double the amount of signatures you will need in order to defeat challenges to them made by opponents. And to be honest, I could get 3 times the amount of signatures all day, everybody keeps telling me the one thing about this is money. Nobody really takes you seriously unless you have money into your thing. I'm gonna let you know, I've made about $300 in my campaigning. It's not a whole lot. I basically spent most of it either on, food for any type of kind of meet and greet type of thing where I'm out, doing the getting signatures. I have a little barbecue, and the barbecue draws in people. Free food. People are like, yeah, I'll come over here for a free pulled pork sandwich and listen to you for a minute. And those are the things that I have done with the money, is that I've put in money to try to draw people in to get signatures, and I think that's why I've gotten along so well. But I've still got a long way to go. So we've got Black Sheepdog Tony G here. He's saying, "Hey, gun people, what's up, brother?" Angel says, hey, "Solo Yakka rules." Evan Wade says, "You protect your own rights. External vigilance is the price of liberty, and indifference to the notion is the means of which people secure their own enslavement." And I agree with you, man. We are the protectors. We the people, not we the government. We the people are in control of our lives and how we live it and everything. And that's why our founding fathers, I think, put, when they made the preamble of the Constitution, it said we the people, not we the government. Because you go through the preamble and then right underneath it goes right into, your elected officials. And it's very important. It's somewhat important to have our elected officials, because, we don't want an America that just goes on and willy-nilly does whatever. I guess we could all police ourselves. I'm not saying we need the police. I'm just saying we could police ourselves. But I think there are some things that the government are good for. Some things. Not all. Some. Dan McDonald said, "For some reason, I thought you'd be a long hair hippie." Oh, it's long, man. What are you talking about? Don't mess with my long hair. I used to have dreads back in the day. I cut them all off for a job. Made me who I was. Yep. Macron says, "Trump stated that he does not back the red flag laws." And if you guys haven't heard about that as well, Trump, I think what really Trump is doing, I don't quote me on, I don't know. Trump is his own man. He has his own agenda. But I think because of the other 20 plus Democratic politicians that are all screaming this, red flag laws, gun buyback, gun confiscation, ban ARs, do this, do that, free this, free that. He's kind of stepped away and he's like, I'll let them all murder themselves. And this is probably why Trump will be reelected, because the other side is just so crazy. They're just nuts. They're all a bunch of Looney Tunes thinking that they're going to take away, the second you say you're going to take away Americans' right to bear arms, you just lost millions of votes. Millions. So, so I'm going to let the Democratic Party just damn themselves. I care less. I give two shits about them. The only one that I would actually shows a little bit of maybe is the representative from Hawaii. The one, I don't know her name. But she's from Hawaii. She's the only Democratic one that I would even, and I think she's more libertarian than she is Democratic. But, once again, she said some things about the guns, but she's probably the most promising one. But, Hillary Clinton, a bunch of other Democratic people have just bashed this lady to a point that she's trying to fight to keep her name, somewhat good. And it just doesn't make sense why the Democratic Party would just bash everybody. Like, every Democrat hates the Democrats. They're all saying the same thing, but I'm going to do it better than you. And I'm going to do it better than you, but you can't do it as good as me, but I'm going to do it better than you. And when they fight like that, people aren't going to vote for you. People will not. They're like, you're nuts. All you guys are nuts. Every one of them. They're nuts. Nuts, 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 nuts. Crazy. Like I said, Travis T's hanging out. Let's see. I'm gonna hop down, try to catch up. Yeah, Crowbar 2004. You know, I was a Bud Light guy forever. I was drinking Bud Light, and then I had a baby, and then I got on to Bush, and Bush isn't that bad. Bush Light ain't that bad. Bush is a little rougher, but it's not. Even Bush isn't that bad. I won't go the natty ride. No natty ride for this guy. No natty ride. But yeah. Mr. Rasseras says, shall not be infringed is the spirit of the law. And once again, I've been kind of rambling, talking with you guys. Let me kind of hop down and yeah, Angel. Unless they got metal detectors, you know, and I don't even agree with metal detectors in schools or anything. I think there's a better way to protect our kids by actually giving people the right to bear arms inside the school. I mean, not the kids, obviously, because they're not old enough or whatever, but, you know, allowing the teachers. And even here in Florida, they just started allowing the teachers to arm themselves. So not all counties agree with it, and I guess not all counties allow it. But for the most part, I believe Ron DeSantis, our governor, put that into law. So if it's a law and teachers can, you know, I say arm themselves because it's only going to help eliminate a threat or slow down the threat until somebody can deal with the threat. Paul, absolutely. Body cams should be a requirement for every police. And just like I'm sure like every other state, every other county, every other place, Lantana, down in West Palm or down in Palm Beach County doesn't have body cams. Port St. Lucie, right here where I live, don't have body cams. They've got really nice undercover cars and all this other good stuff, but they can't spend, let's just give them a $400 GoPro with plenty of batteries or whatever. Give them a camera because, you know, it's going to help. It's going to help the police. I don't even care about if it helps the police. It's going to help protect me. Because if I don't have a camera and they don't have a camera, they can say whatever they want and I go to jail. If I have a camera and my camera proves that they're lying, they're probably not going to go to jail, but they're going to get a lawsuit. And that's why I say it's very important for law enforcement or anybody, or even for the average citizen to have some kind of camera. You know, it can be a body camera, it can be a pair of glasses that have a camera, it can be your cell phone. Anytime that you do run across police interactions, government interactions, anytime you hear politicians spewing something, record it. Because you know something, if they start saying the wrong things, those are the things that we need to bring to light. Because law enforcement, you go down the list, some of them are corrupt. And we need to expose those bad apples, and we've got to get them out of the bunch. We want all the good apples, no bads. Get the bads out, in with the good, out with the bad. So I think body cams are definitely crucial throughout everything. We've got news now. OKC, what's up, brother? How you been? You can news now. OKC, let me know the next time you come down to Florida, man. I'll buy you the fishing license. I'll buy you a fishing license and go fishing with you, man. There's no reason why you can't open carry in Florida. All you need is a fishing license, or if you want, if you're coming down and it's good weather and you want to go camp, well, that kind of came out weird. But if you want to do a camping adventure, you know, you can go camping, and that way you have to stick primarily onto the campground site, like not where your tent is, but you know, there's obviously a property line for that campground. As long as you're within that campground, you can open carry while you're camping. So just let me know. Let me know next time you come down to Florida. Let's see. We have the gun controllers. They're all traders. Yeah, Mr. Rasseras says we have all the gun controllers. What they are, traders. Trying to someone's right means they are being a trader. Definition matters. I definitely think they are being, you know, they are definitely stepping without their bounds. You know, I can't go all the way to traders. They, you know, by definition, they probably are traders. I definitely think those people that go against their oath definitely need to be fired on the spot. If you're saying, oh, I take this oath, I solemnly swear to defend and honor the Constitution and the state of Florida, and you fail at that and you go against that, that's when you get fired. And that's why I don't agree with, what they did down in West Palm. All right. I just noticed that I'm on an hour and 10 minutes. So I'm not wrapping this up. Don't everybody go away all at once. But I'm going to kind of give you thank you, GA Gladiator. Thank you. I'm going to kind of give you a nutshell of what we just talked about. Everybody that was here at the beginning already heard it, but for those that just got in, we've got, I went down to West Palm. I went to their West Palm. I went to their town hall meeting. I will there's going to be some links. There's going to be a news report, video, a couple videos in there. All that stuff will be below with descriptions, all that stuff. You'll check that out. But when I went down there, I basically told the mayor, I told the police chief that they should be fired. They're not honoring their oath. I believe it's under Florida statute 350.05 or 50. It's 05 or 50, one of the two. Actually, it's 350.05. That is the oath that they swore to uphold. Not only the Constitution, but the Constitution of the United States, but also Florida, and what they have been doing, how they've been reaching out to senators, trying to go against and saying, hey, we want this law changed. They are part of the problem. If it was just a senator and he did it himself, so be it. But the senator had outside influences, which were not just the public. The public may have done it, but the police chief and the mayor both are on record in news stories saying that they wrote a letter and they did it and they want this law changed because they just don't like guns in West Palm, and they obviously just really don't like me, because every time I show up there, it goes from like a normal meeting to them having to add more police presence. There's actually a sign that was posted on the outside of this town hall that was unlawful under Florida statute, because it told me that I couldn't carry a firearm into town hall, which is not true. I can carry it into any kind of public building other than a police department, courthouse type of thing. And the only other exception is usually like a political meeting. Like if it's a town hall meeting, or if it was a senator meeting, or if you go to Tallahassee and you go into this, you're not allowed to carry a firearm into that meeting. Outside of that meeting, inside the building itself, lawful. Once you step inside of the meeting itself, that's when it becomes unlawful. And once again, it doesn't make sense because there were police in there with firearms, so it doesn't really matter. Like, what's the matter? Yeah, Jay Cooper, they did get rid of Sheriff Israel, man. He's gone. No more. I'm not sure if there's going to be any legal repercussions, if he's going to go to jail for any of it, but he's definitely not getting rehired from Broward, so he's gone. Evan Wade says, good chat. He says, thanks, got to go. Helped all. Appreciate it. We got Rodney Brooks. He's here a little bit late. And like I said, I'm kind of going over the nutshell of what I've been talking about. I was in West Palm. If you haven't seen that video, it's going to be probably the second. If you go into my videos, it's like the second or third video there. And it's a good video. I mean, I basically called him out. I quoted Thomas Jefferson. I said the preamble of the Constitution, and then I read the Second Amendment, and then I went right into, criticizing them, or not even criticizing, calling them out for their bullshit or their bull stuff. So, yeah. Thank you, News Now, OKC. I'm trying to do my best, man. I'm a small fish in a big pond. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to do what I can to just bring it to light, and then hopefully I get a bunch of other people. Hopefully it just follows in suit. If you see that it is lawful and you see it enough and you feel comfortable, go out and open carry. not telling you to, but if you feel comfortable, you're like, hey, I'm going to try, or I'm going to do this, just make sure you have a GoPro, or make sure you have some kind of video camera accessible, because if the police show up, you're more than likely not going to be digging in your pocket to get your cell phone. So that's why I always wear a chest mount or head mount. And most often than not, I usually see the police coming before anything happens. So once I see them, boop, hit one button, turns the camera on. Or you can just, if you have enough memory on your memory card, whenever you go ahead and put everything on, you put your rifle or your handgun on, you got your fishing pole, hit record, let it record, and let it record the entire time. That way, you know, if something does happen and you can't get to your camera, or you can't turn it back on or whatever, at least it's already running. The second half was, like I said, I was out doing my little political thing out at Fort Pierce Jetty today. Got about 15 to 20 signatures, and I'm out there just trying to make a difference for us here in Florida, my county here in Port St. Lucie and Fort Pierce area, and for the state of Florida. I'm going to really be pushing, just like there's another, God, man, too many names, too many laws, too many things to remember. And I believe his name is Anthony something. He's up north. He's in the north half, and he's trying to push for a constitutional carry bill. Hopefully it passes. Got high hopes for it. If it does pass, you know something, I'm going to be extremely ecstatic, because then I don't have to carry a stupid fishing pole. So let's see here. Yeah, George Allen says most cops are now Democrats. We've got a lot of law enforcement that are implants from the north, like New York, New Jersey. I think that's mainly it. I can't say that, but there's a lot of them that are actually coming from the north, and they come down here not realizing that we actually have an open carry law. And they actually, I'll squash that one too. For the police not to say that they don't know about the open carry law is a farce. Under section 790.25, section 3, subsection D, as in David, that is what gives the police their right to open carry. Same statute, subsection H, so D, E, F, G, H. 4 or 5 letters after that, we've got the open carry for fishing, hunting, and camping. For these law enforcement not even understanding the right, why they get to carry, if they're not even reading that part, that this is why you get to carry, and not reading all those sections, they don't need to be law enforcement. Like, that's your job, is to actually read statutes and to know statutes. Mine is no different than theirs, just a different letter. So they can't even I wouldn't even give them the time of day to say that they're doing the right thing or anything. So yeah, I am about asserting and affirming my rights, because they're all of our rights. They're not just mine. They're not just women's rights. They're not just LGBTQ rights. They're everybody's rights. They're our rights. Not, you know, the government is just there to make sure they follow these rights. These rights are clearly listed. If you violate these rights, these are civil offenses, and there's big punishments that go along with civil rights violations. So you got Ziggy Weiner here. I live in Pottstown, PA, and most people don't know you can open carry. And to be perfectly honest, man, open carry is really for people that want to express that right. Not everybody wants to open carry. And that I would never bash anybody that's like, oh, I just want to conceal. I'm like, you can do whatever you want. Me personally, the way I started, and that's another thing we were talking about, the way I started was I was open carrying while I was fishing. I was fishing 5 days a week, fishing. That was part of my life. I didn't have a concealed weapons license, so that was the only way for me to legally carry. Now I have a concealed weapons license. I've got my government permission slip, and I can carry everywhere and anywhere except for in certain exceptions, you know, courthouses, all that stuff. But that's, you know, I I want people to be able to carry how they want. That's what the Second Amendment is about the right to bear arms, not how the government chooses us to carry. It's our right to carry, how we choose. And I think that a lot of our politicians have gotten away from that. And that was another thing I called them out on. I was like, since you guys don't care about the Second Amendment, maybe you shouldn't have the protection of the Second Amendment. You know, if you're not gonna fight and stand for this part of our Bill of Rights, our Constitution, then you don't deserve to have that right. You don't deserve protection under that, because you're willing to strip it from everybody else except for yourself, or have, you know, for them, they have police escorts and they have police protection and whatever. Or, you know, whenever they go to wherever they go, they always have protection. I am my own protection. I don't have police on my shoulder. I mean, kind of do now, but I don't have the police walking with me to protect me every day, of every second of every day, or when I'm at work, or where I go fishing. I am my own protection, and that's why it's very, 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 very important that they leave this law alone. George Allen says every mass shooter was legal to own a gun, and they, by their right, yes, they are legal to have a gun. It was what they did with that gun, and not all of them. I'm speaking about Nicholas Cruz. He blatantly said he was going to do it, and then there were other students. I mean, there was a whole list of things that led up to this, and nobody seemed to want to try to stop it or try to help this kid. Like, the kid needed help, and instead of, you know, I'm not saying they should have taken his guns. That's why I said, and I'm not saying they should have red flagged him. I think they should have watched him or helped him more, because there was obviously there was something wrong. I don't know if it was a mental thing. I don't know what was wrong. I guess he had some family members die or something like that, or his mom died or something to that effect. And I get it. Depression is real, and that's going to be the other half. Is there? I'm not saying depression is a mental illness, but depression leads to things where you're not thinking straight. And he was reaching out. That was almost a cry for help. Where he was, I won't say it was a cry for help, but it was definitely something that should have been looked at, or they should have helped him more than how everything went down. Yeah. George Allen, Florida is tough right now. It's really, really, really rough. The right to travel is a constitutional amendment. Absolutely. The right to drive a vehicle is not in that. It's just, you have the right to ride by horseback, by friggin' donkey, by bicycle. I mean, even bicycles now, by law, I mean, I don't even agree with that one, but by law, bicycles actually have to follow the same road rules that cars do. I'm not saying I'm going to run a red light riding a bike. I'm not stupid, but that's, you know, if you're walking, you can't just walk out in the middle of the street. You know, the right to travel is one thing, not disagreeing. Driving is not a constitutional amendment. Not. I'll have to look into that one. I was about to say something stupid, but I'll look into that. We'll address that one later. Yeah, George Allen, they ask England, they gave up their guns too. Yeah. And Kevin Gregg, I actually, once again, you know, the indoctrination is what they're being taught. You know, I've heard of Marxism for a lot of schools. That's what they're like. A lot of the books and a lot of things they get and what they're teaching is a problem. And that's why I say I think we do need to have some kind of education. I won't say reform, but we need to reevaluate our situation with our education system. There's things that have just been completely lost, and we need to start getting those back. Yeah, Paul, none. I can't say too many. I asked the kid today, what has he been learning about history, and he he said they still teach history, but it's not. You know, it's like, oh, I just learned about Christopher Columbus, and I'm like, man, that's all they've taught you. And I mean, he's a young kid. He seemed like a really good kid, but it looked like he was about 10, 12 years old. And I'm like, that's, maybe he's just not paying attention. I don't know. I'm not in school anymore. I remember they taught us a lot more in history. We actually had a history class, and they specifically went through all the history. And now, like, from even my son, he doesn't bring home a history book. So I don't know what they're teaching him. I honestly don't know. And civics, forget about that, man. They're not even teaching kids how to friggin' balance a checkbook, how to friggin' manage money. I mean, kids think money is just falling off trees and they can just, oh, everything's free. Oh, I've got the freedom. I've got the free money tree out back and I can do whatever I want. And that's just not how that works. So, yeah, George Allen, I totally agree. I do leave my rifle unloaded. My handgun is not. My rifle is. And one of the main reasons why I leave it unloaded is just for safety aspects for others. Don't care about my handgun, the rifle. There was one open carry gathering that I had, and I met an autistic kid, he's a teenager, and autistic. He was very interested in the flags. He was very interested in the group of us, and this autistic kid walked directly up to me, didn't even bat an eye, and reached out and tried to grab my rifle. My rifle was unsafe. My rifle was not load, didn't have one in the chamber. I have rounds in my magazine, but there's not one directly in the pipe. In my handgun, all the way loaded, all one in the pipe. So the only reason for the rifle not being all the way loaded like that is really because I'm not saying I just walk up to autistic kids, but people do walk up and do approach me, and I don't want them to reach out and try to touch something. And if they did and it was not unsafe and I didn't realize it, guess who's getting shot? Me. Or guess what's happening? My firearm's getting discharged, and then I'm gonna end up getting in a lot of trouble and all that stuff. CB, I'm glad you made it, brother. I'm not even Hispanic, man. EFILWV, Eiffel WV. You are a Hispanic libertarian. I'm not Hispanic. My name is Mike Taylor. I'm American. America. I'm just giving you shit, man. But I'm not even Hispanic. Not even one drop. I'm like half Irish. I've got a little Japanese and a little African American in me. So I'm not even anywhere near the Hispanic half. Oh, hey, hey, Rambo Rob or where is he? Rambo Rob or Angel. You see this guy right here? You see this EFILWV? Get him out of here. You call me an Uncle Tom, dude? Bye. See ya. I mean, that's just stupid and racist, man. Why would you call somebody an Uncle Tom? What are you gonna do next? Call me a porch monkey too? Like, oh, he's an Oreo. Oh, I've grown up with being belittled by hundreds of other people, and I've never tried to hurt them and do anything bad to them, and you don't even fucking know me, and you're gonna call me an Uncle Tom? Right there, buddy. Hey, Eiffel WV. You can sit on this and fucking sit and twirl, man. Sit and twirl. All right. But anyway, yeah, guys, look. Hey, what's up, Memory Decipher? What's up, brother? Yeah. Yeah. I definitely agree with you, brother. Armed security, police, or the teachers. I don't take the ladder on that one. You can stick one out in the front and have every teacher loaded in the back, and I don't care. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, guys. But like I said, we got I see a new face here. Wisconsin Greg, hello, Silly Ecker. I've been watching your videos regularly, but never seen you live stream before, and I appreciate you coming in, man. And I try to do this every Sunday or every other Sunday. It's just about other stuff that's been happening. I think I probably won't talk about it because I don't really want to talk about it. But Texas, they just had another shooting. Fucking god damn it, man! Like, at least like I won't even say it, dude. It's just not good. I mean, these shootings, and I guess it was at a college homecoming or something like that, or the homecoming, or it was the day before home. I don't know. It was a homecoming dance. A bunch of people, 14 people got shot, 2 people died, and you know these are the things that the Democrats and everybody that's pushing gun control. This is what they are really. They're taking this and they're running with it. You know, and the more these happen, the those are the concerning things. Is that the politicians that we have nothing else, but we've got no other way to protect it but banning and taking away everybody's right. That's their logic, not my logic. Their logic, and I will never ever 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 agree to that. Never. You want them, come get them. Yes. Ransom Hedragon. Solo, are you going to meet up with John Felix when you're up in Tampa? Absolutely. 100%. He knows I'm coming, and I can't wait to meet him. So show some love. Hit that thumbs up, everybody. And like I said, I'm pushing the time limit on this. I'm at an hour and 30. Everybody, you guys are always amazing. I thank everybody for always joining in and coming in and listening to me ramble about nonsense. Hopefully I do get elected. Hopefully I can make a really big difference in Florida by, really making sure that we keep our rights and having politicians that will fight for our rights. Because right now we're starting to lose a lot of our politicians, and none of them really seem like they want us. Not all, but some of them don't seem like they want to fight for us. They just want to strip us. And me personally, I'm tired of it, and I won't stand for it. So, all right. But I am going to get out of here, guys. I appreciate everybody. Yeah. Thank you, Rambo Rob. You warned him, dude. The guy was a freaking douchebag. But it is what it is. Everybody, there's people like that in the world that are just angry, that are just miserable, that just are like, they want to say they just want to be rude and nasty to everybody. You can be rude and nasty. It's your right. Not on my channel. If you really have to really say some like Uncle Tom bullshit like that to really get under my skin, because I mean that's as racist as it gets. I'm like, you're like, what the fuck? I mean, WTF all day. So yeah, I think they did, CB. I appreciate all you guys. Yeah. Yeah. Pro pimp, Bush. But I appreciate it. Emmanuel Goldstein, thank you for 2020. That's what I'm going to need it. I really do. Big Nick out of South Florida, man. If you ever can shout out to him, tell him next time I come down to Miami, I would love for him to come on out, and we'll do a First Amendment, Second Amendment audit all on the same day. So reach out to him and let him know that I would love to meet him. He's a pretty funny guy sometimes. But like I said, I do appreciate all you guys and girls. I'm sorry, guys and girls. I'll correct it, because I just, when I look at the analytics on my channel, I just had a spike of like 2 or 3% in women watching my channel. I don't know if it's because I'm so sexy. I think it is. I think, how can you resist this manly stud? But yeah. What's up, RMG 1035? Thanks for coming in, brother. And like I said, I appreciate all the girls, guys, everybody. I appreciate all of you. Let your friends know. Don't forget, hit that like, share, and that subscribe. RMG 1035. Look out next Sunday. It'll probably be around 8-ish, 9-ish o'clock. 8, 9 o'clock. I will be going live. So if you happen to be around 8 and 9 o'clock, just have your phone ready or set an alarm, do whatever you get. And I try to do at least an hour every Sunday. And we talk about just gun talk, whether it's, I haven't really been talking about too many new guns, but I have been talking a lot more about our politicians and the stuff like that. Politics, red flag laws, anything that's really concerning in the 2A community. That's what I really try to talk about. So, like I said, there's going to be a lot of links below, right down yonder way. So, whenever this video uploads, I'll be sure to put all those, all the links, the news article, the video, all of it. So I'll make sure I get all that stuff to you. Just like I try to do all the time. Sometimes I slip up and I forget. I'm human. So don't hate me for that. But I appreciate all of you. I can't wait to see you guys again. November 2nd, Tampa. Be there, be square. That'll be in the link below as well. And we're going to open carry right over by Tampa Bay Lightning, and it should be a good time. Maybe I'll even reach out to the Tampa Bay Lightning, see if they want to come out and go fishing with us. That'd be pretty awesome to have a bunch of professional ice hockey guys. Yeah. Mofro says, enjoy the beer. It's getting a little warm. I've been on here for an hour and a half. I'm still sipping on the same one. But cheers to all you guys. Bush. I'll see you guys on the flip side. Solo Yacker. Deuces.